The passion of Clemson students is huge. I think that that's what attracted me here. Everybody on campus is involved in something. Everybody is just on fire for Clemson.
I was really looking for an opportunity to get more of a small town feel, and so coming to Clemson really provided that for me. And then when time came for me to look towards graduate schools, I had a really good professor working with here.
I toured Clemson one Friday afternoon by myself and just really enjoyed it. You know, Solid Orange Friday, I could just feel like the Clemson spirit.
Like the second I stepped foot on campus, I was like, oh, I could see myself staying here. And then the more I learned about the academics and the football and just the school spirit, I was like, yeah, this is where I want to spend the next 4+ years.
Want a college that has wanted to be kind of have small but not too small, but I don't want it to be overwhelmingly big, and I wanted to kind of feel like a family, feel comfortable like it's my home.
Clemson is a very good research university, and I'm a PhD student, so the research is the most important thing.
Clemson had like a good physics department, so physics is my major, so yeah, I mean, and like the field I was interested in, like condensed matter physics, so there were like some people working here and who were pretty good in their field.
Academically, you should be prepared for a rigorous coursework.
So I'm currently working with mobile health studies and determining how your iPhone linked with Fitbit, how that might impact your overall frequency and duration of exercise.
I went over to Universidad Politécnica de Madrid, obviously in Madrid, Spain, and all these classes were in Spanish, so that was a huge challenge I'd had.
Was last summer I was working in Switzerland at a place called CERN, which is a particle physics laboratory, and that's like my dream research. I absolutely loved it.
And then I went to Oak Ridge, and it was like, oh, that's why I did everything, because now suddenly I was on the forefront of science, I was doing real work. All the skills that I worked so hard here in college for, suddenly they had an application. And it was like, oh, I love this.
The most inspiring person I met would be Dr. Kay Drapshow. She's kind of the head of our major. And she is just really passionate. She's a great professor, and she's really passionate and cares about her students.
And I worked a lot with Dr. Ashley Childers in industrial engineering. We looked at a new community paramedicine program in Abbeville, and I went and shadowed some of the paramedics that were down there and worked on implementing a process that would help them go into patients' homes and gather information so that they could start reducing the amount of ambulance calls that were being made there.
I worked with Dr. Roberts on an energy storage, mainly projects, including supercapacitors and some redox solute stuff.
Dr. Desjardins has really, I guess, been influential to me since my very first semester at Clemson. He's really influenced me, as well as Dr. Dean, who I was able to travel with to Tanzania, and then Dr. Simeonescu, who I've been doing research with for about 4 semesters now.
It's hard to choose just one person, but if I had to, I'd probably say Dr. Drapshow, just because she's always doing something. She has her research going, and she teaches classes, and she kind of knows everything there is to know about the biosystems engineering program here.
Dr. Chatsasolik, being a physicist, I guess I never knew what it means really to be a physicist till I sort of saw what he does on a daily basis, which is you're writing proposals all the time, but you're also attending conferences, then you're also rolling up your sleeves and writing some code or picking up a wrench and doing some work.
Dr. David Friedman, he is just so passionate about everything that he teaches that even if you're not particularly interested in the subject matter, you just want to learn about it.
So Colonel Scardon was a prisoner and participated in the Bataan Death March, and his Clemson ring essentially saved his life. So 2 of the other Clemson graduates that he was with, Henry Leitner and Otis Morgan, they sold his Clemson ring to buy food and to buy chicken and chicken broth, and essentially nurse Colonel Scardon back to health.
The single most important event was that internship that I did do at CERN this past summer. I was there for 2 months, and it's a really competitive program to get into. Only about 15 students from the US are chosen each year, but really so many of my professors worked so hard along with me to get this opportunity. They wrote my letters of recommendation, they read through my application multiple times, and so I really owe it to them that to get this opportunity was really kind of a group effort.
One of the most significant events in my Clemson career, I guess, would have to be getting accepted to the Eureka program, because that kind of started me down the path for everything else I did in college, in the sense of, you know, I met Dr. Roberts, who I have worked with ever since then, and so that was, you know, at this point almost 5 years ago. And also throughout college, that kind of set me up with the friend group I had.
So I'd have to say campaigning for student body president, hands down. The actual active campaigning was a month long, but months leading up to it, we were preparing and working on it. It was one of the most challenging, craziest, exciting, and rewarding times of my life.
For a long time I thought I wanted to stick in engineering like throughout my whole career, but recently I've been starting to think about maybe moving into politics later on, like after I get some experience, and just trying to bring a little bit of science and engineering background into like the political sphere.
I plan to be a faculty in future. So right now I'm applying for postdoc positions because I like research. I think it's more interesting than working in a company.
So yeah, after my PhD, I will try to continue working in my field, maybe mostly heading for a postdoc research.
I am going to get a PhD in physics, and I'm very confident that I'm ready for this with my Clemson education.
So I'll be graduating in May, and in July I'll be working for Deloitte doing federal technology consulting as a business technology analyst for them. I was also accepted into Harvard Business School's 2+2 program, so after 2 to 3 years I'll be heading up to Boston to obtain my MBA.
Get a faculty position in some state you somewhere. But if not, even just working as a physicist in a national lab somewhere, or just a lab, or just with my computer engineering background, I could even see myself working as a programmer.
I think Clemson is a unique place because of the people and a lot of the interactions you get, whether that's from going to all the football games and like cheering them on with your friends, or me and a bunch of my friends have made a bunch of road trips to other football games.
It's the most well-rounded school I've ever seen, and I toured 18 colleges, so I like to think that I know what I'm talking about. The academics is just, you can't beat it, especially because it's such a place where, like, if you want something and you pursue it, there's so many people here who are like, they cheer you on and they want you to get what you're looking for.
If you're looking for somewhere that's very centered in sports and football and such, and you want a big football community, or you're looking for somewhere with a great science program where you will get a rigorous education, not just have a lot of material thrown at you, but actually have professors that will help you get a strong background in science. Or really you're just looking for somewhere where everybody likes each other and there's a lot to do and just everyone cares how everybody else feels in each other's experience, come here.